Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. How we sounding? How we looking, guys? All good? Roast dinner, good evening, sir. Hello, welcome. You've made your grand entrance. It's grand. It is grand, I will say. How you get on, mate? How you doing? How we doing? Happy Happy Thursday? Happy Thursday. What a shit day Thursday is, by the way. Fucking Friday Junior. Little tease of Friday without actually giving you the full thing. Unbelievable vibes. Hopefully we all had a good Thursday. I certainly did not. Fucking busy day in the office. This is the first time that I am attempting a stream after a full day in the office. At least, this year, right? Lias, good evening, sir. Hello, welcome. I think I remember you from back in the day. Welcome back. Hello. How you doing, mate? How you been? How's 2025 been treating you? How we getting on, guys? We're here. We're back with another chess stream. Right, we're here today. We're gonna play some more chess today. The plan pretty much is the same as what I was doing on Tuesday. I think I was last live on Tuesday. The plan is firstly to hop on and solve a couple of puzzles, right? We'll work through a few puzzles. After that, we can hop in and play a game on chess.com. We can do a little 15-minute game with a 10-second increment, and we will finish up for the day after that game is done. Win, lose, or draw, we can go in and do a little bit of analysis right after the fact, see kind of where we went wrong, where we went right. I guess the overall aim at the moment, the big thing that we're working towards, 1600 chess.com rating. That is the goal, to get to 1600. I think at the moment I'm chilling on 1582 rating on chess.com rapid. So the goal is to get to 1600. You joined one time when I streamed DS3. Ah, yes. Yes. I wasn't sure if it was Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne, or Elden Ring. I know that we kind of picked up a lot of people in and around that time. Good, man. Good. Fun one for you guys. Dark Souls games working beautifully on the new PC. I had Dark Souls 3 installed on my PC, tried it out yesterday, and it was looking crisp. 60 FPS quality, consistently on decent settings. So I'm not gonna say anything for definite, but I think I might be doing some soul stuff again sooner rather than later, right? Um, that'll be on the agenda. You been good though? Good to hear, man. Good to hear. I've been getting on okay. I've been very busy for the past couple of months. There's not been a whole lot of activity on the channel. Yeah, I moved house, right? So I moved house, set up a new routine, new schedule, and got myself a PC. What PC have I got myself? Not entirely sure. I think it's called AMD Ryzen something. I just looked on Amazon, looked for one that had reasonably good reviews, and got that one. Wasn't too expensive, so I thought that'll do me. Right, let's not piss around here, right? Let's not piss around. Let's hop in. Puzzle cam, puzzle time. That is the vibe. That's what we're starting with today. A little chess puzzle. Our first puzzle here, we are being told that as black, we have a path to promotion here, right? So here's white's pieces. The first thing that I'm seeing in this position, just the first thing that's coming to mind, is a move like h3. Pretty straightforward business, right? The idea is h3 followed by h2 and then making a queen on this square, promoting the pawn. Yeah, catch you later, mate. Thanks for checking in. Yeah, as I say, if you like sort of Dark Souls stuff, probably will be happening here on the channel relatively soon. So keep your eye out for that. Nice to see you though, man. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I think the first thing on my radar here is h3. In the case of h3, black could play a number of things. Bishop g2, trying to stop it. I could take that either with the king or the pawn. I don't see how he's stopping h3, h2, and queening on this square, so I think it's just as simple as pushing the pawn. Yep. Now I could play h2. He can play here. That is interesting, actually. So I could also play something like here now, saying that after this I have here. But the problem is after here, he could play here. So I can push a pawn here. He can go bishop e4. I can step here with my king and just say the plan is then g3, g2, and promotion. Let me see though. So imagine some line like h2 forces bishop e4. We then play king h4 and white plays king f4. I can push pawn g3. Imagine king f3 at that point. And I play here. He can play king here. I can play king here. Oh wait, no, he can take the pawn. Not quite so simple, right? Not quite so simple. I really did think that checkmate was sort of inevitable here, but maybe it's not quite so straightforward. Move like king h4 straight away, allowing him to play here, saying that I can follow that up with here, forcing this, then here. King would come here anyway. I could play here at that point. King cuts off the bishop. But he can take that pawn. This is a little bit tricky, right? So I'm thinking pawn here, bishop comes here. What about instead of going here, playing king here? Right? Keep my king on a more active square is the idea. So pawn here, bishop comes here, and king rolls over here. Saying after the king comes here, we can start this plan of pushing the pawn. He can come here with the king. I can play here. That should be the idea, right? So after here, bishop comes here. I can play king h3. He might start moving his king. I can push a pawn if he wants to move his king this way. At that point, I can play here, force the bishop to capture. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Here, 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 here. I think that's the idea. Let me go for this. So here, 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 yep. And then something like here is the idea. And then here. And that's winning. Okay, good. Excellent. I made a little bit worried there when it became mildly more complicated, right? But there was a couple of ways that you could go wrong in that position. We can analyze it and we can talk about it as we do, right? So the first way to go wrong in a position like this one, obviously running away from the pawns, right? Letting the king take those pawns is a way to draw. Another way to go wrong is something like here, here, and a move like here is drawing, right? Because the king can take the pawn. That's no good. So something like here, here, and then a move like here is wrong, right? That's a draw as well, because the king's able to get back in time and get into a position to stop the pawns from promoting. So you had to recognize in this position, after a move like bishop d3, you had this move h2, the bishop comes down and the king can shimmy to this square here on h3. Black can start coming back, but you're too quick with these pawns, right? You're too quick, bishop has to take, and the black king cuts off every single square here for white's king, and you're making a queen and you're winning the game. So good, interesting little endgame puzzle to get us started there. We can move on to the next one and we can see what our next puzzle is. Let's do it. Okay. So in this position, again, we're playing as black and we're being told that we have a pawn that is close to promotion. And we're trying to find what the next move is. So immediately I'm thinking about something like c3, a5, c2, here, here, here. Something like here maybe then? Nope. Good evening, gents. Is that Rex Nor? Don't believe I've seen you here on the YouTube page before. Hello, sir. Welcome. Weirdo Mon. Hello, sir. Welcome. Nice to see you. Peak is back again. I keep doing it. How do I keep doing it? And Mr. Goober, hello. In my chess era, indeed. That's what we're doing at the moment. Although I did say, right, just to let you guys know, because I know you're mainly Dark Souls guys, right? I appreciate that. I know a lot of people on this YouTube page are. I tested out Dark Souls on my new PC today, running very nicely, smooth 60 FPS quality on Dark Souls 3 on my PC. So Dark Souls will be coming back to the YouTube page pretty shortly, right? So exciting news. I know, exciting news. Appreciate you guys being here regardless though, right? I do appreciate that. Even if it's not your main game or whatever, right? Appreciate it. So c3, what about something like knight here, and after here the knight comes in here, right? That would stop my promotion. So maybe instead b3, saying pawn captures. If knight here, then we can push a pawn, knight here, and he is too slow to stop my queen from promoting, right? And similarly here, if he continues to push, I can take, he goes here, and I make a queen before he does, right? So that looks pretty close to winning. We can consider a couple of other variations of moves here, right? So here, here maybe, and then here, 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 here. We still have time to stop that pawn from promoting, right? Here, is there any other knight moves that can save him? So here, I can take that knight, right? And then it's just definitely winning. So after here, the only knight moves that he has are here and here. we already talked through this line, which after that we can take, and he has no way to get to the pawn, right? So the line is here, here, well, sorry, here, 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 and here. And the other line after here, here, and here is knight here, but we can play here, here, and here. So there's no way for him to stop my pawn from promoting, right? So I imagine it is b3. It is. We take back like this. He plays that. Check. I have two ways of capturing. I think I'm going to take back with the pawn because I don't want to give up a knight, right? That would somehow probably be losing. So let me capture with the pawn. Make sure that's not wrong. I don't think it is. Yep. We go here. I take the knight. And we solve the puzzle. Excellent. Good. Oh shit, big upgrade. Big change. Wood 8. Wood 8. Unbelievable. Unbelievable stuff. Incredible. Also, let me know, guys, by the way, if at any point the stream starts to look off, starts to look weird. I think I got my settings right, but if anything sounds strange, if I'm too quiet, if I'm too loud, if it looks terrible, let me know. And if the chess is bad, let me know too. And if you hate me and you hate my stupid face, let me know also. Wood 8, massive upgrade. We only have, what is that, 12 more woods to go before we escape wood tier in puzzles. There we go. Cool. And our last puzzle of the day is this one. Again, we're playing as black, and we're being told that in this position we can win a piece, right? So how do we win a piece here? First idea is a set of captures, right? So bishop captures this knight, knight captures, rook captures, and is there some tactical idea at that point? I don't see it. We have this, right, with the queen as a battering ram, right? The queen acts as a little battering ram in this position. So after a move like queen captures pawn, king comes here. What do we have? We have capturing the bishop, right? Is it as simple as that, or do we need to do something else first? So if we go straight away with queen captures pawn, king moves, and taking the bishop, white can play knight captures knight, and I can't take that back, so it's an even trade of material at that point. We can play queen captures, king moves over, and then take the knight first. Knight captures back, and then take the bishop. But is that going to lead us into some kind of trouble? I don't know, some kind of move like here, threatening some bad stuff. Maybe, right? Maybe. Okay, so the idea that I have in my head, there's actually two move orders as well. There's probably one that's good and one that's not so good. We can either play takes here first, or we can take here first. What I'm thinking is if we take here, white might have g3, right? g3 to kick away the queen. So I'm thinking this might be better first. Here, here, and then takes here. We can either take with the bishop or the knight as well. That's actually interesting. Although we should take with the knight, because if we take with the bishop after this, and this, white can play knight captures, and that threat on the knight is still there, right? So I think the correct move order here is bishop captures, or sorry, queen captures pawn, king comes over, knight captures knight. He can play either, but I think he'll play knight captures. And then After knight captures, queen captures, bishop. And in that position, I think we win a piece. Let me try it. Here, here, no. Okay, it's not correct. Okay, so that is not correct. So here instead, is it here just to win the rook? No, that's incorrect also. So here, oh, we can now take this with check. Ah, and then we can take here with check. And we can go here with check. Okay, okay. I was missing something there. There's probably a reason why my move order is bad, right? So here, we can play here. And my idea was to play knight captures. But we're missing checkmate in 3 in this position, probably with queen f5. Is that the idea? It is, yeah. And then we're here, and then here, here, and here. And we're getting checkmated. Oops. Oops. Right, so after this, instead, you need to go here to put the queen out and make this a capture with check. Best move is here. Again, we can take. Best move is here. We can come up. Black would step forward or back. But then after that is said and done, we have checkmate in 2 here. Interesting. Okay. I don't see that. What's the checkmate in 2? Here? No, it's not. White has checkmate in 2 now. This is a weird position. Hold on. I wanna check this one out because this is a weird position. We have checkmate in 2 here. Is it queen here? No, that's not it. Is it bishop here? It is after takes. We have checkmate with pawn. Is that the idea? Oh no, that's a draw. Okay, that's a draw. Oh, with the queen? Yeah, okay. Too much going on in this position. I don't know. I failed, right? I messed up. I messed up the puzzle. But yeah, I probably should have seen that idea with the check, forcing the king forward so that we could capture the bishop with check and not allow white counterplay, right? So cool. Cool, what is that? 3 puzzles, got 2 of them, missed 1 of them. My brain's a little bit tired, right? My brain is not super engaged. So we'll have to see how this game goes. I could get absolutely steamrolled today, right? But I wanted to hop on regardless and give it a try, give it a go, see how we do. I'm still going to give it all of my energy and all my thoughts, but we will go through, we'll play on, right? We'll do our best. As per usual, it is a 15 by 10 rapid game on chess.com. Nice long time format for us, right? And we'll see who we're playing against. We'll see how it goes. Let's do it. Let's get into it. Make sure I can see the board here as well properly. Excellent. Excellent. Let's go. Let's do it. Okay, up against Mr. Nasser Tamjidi, I think that is. At the Kuwait flag. Could be. Could be Kuwait. We have a Sicilian on the board, which terrifies me. Actually, probably one of my least favorite things to play against, the Sicilian. We'll get into an open Sicilian here. I really don't like playing against this Sicilian. Not at all. And we have a, what is that, a time and off variation. Okay. Not that I knew that. This is an interesting line. Sometimes I like to play something like this. Just saying I'm going to get in here and fork the king and the bishop. I think that's the correct move order here. So here, if you play something like queen here, I have a move like bishop here, by the way. He can't take the knight because my bishop defends it. I think it's this. And then black's supposed to play d6, I think is the idea. And then I play something like just a normal developing move afterwards, like a bishop here move, right? I think my plan, white's plan in this position, should play to attack this weak square. I think that's the idea. Or is that only against the immediate d5 move? Or e5 move? It might be. What's wrong with this? So here, I can maybe play here, which they wouldn't have in the case of e5. Here, here. Pawn takes, and then my knight is sitting kind of useless. Although I could play bishop here in that position. And say I now put pressure on this square here, right? So some order like here, here, and then just the immediate here move. But then you can play here. I'm not going to play this. I'm not going to play this idea. I think it's too weird, too experimental, right? So I think instead I'll just get going here with some kind of natural developing moves, I think could be the idea. So let me bring a bishop out like this, right? I think that's usually okay to do in Sicilian lines. Let's do that. I'm not going to go with my crazy plan of here. And yes, I did just take 2 minutes on move 3. Don't judge me. Couple of options here too. I can bring my knight out, right? Say maybe I have some idea of like this. I could play this now, saying that you've already moved this bishop. So here, could also just continue with some kind of normal developing stuff. I could play here, trying to do that. I don't love that though. I think castling's a move too. Just castling straight away, getting my king out of the center. I think maybe... I mean, if we play here, he has some idea of queen going here. But I can always drop back like this, right? So maybe I play this. I don't hate that. It's just a developing move. Get the bishop out. Get it involved. And he plays his knight in to attack my pawn. I know in this position, normally what you should do is play something like bishop here. Don't play a move like knight here. Allows the bishop to come and pin the knight to your king. So maybe we play bishop here to say the bishop has a purpose now in protecting this pawn, right? We could also take the knight and push the pawn, but I think that'll make our... Well, takes... He has queen out here. No, he doesn't. Takes here, here. Black can put their knight in here. I can kick it. Maybe not terrible to take here. Although it will allow him eventually to build a pretty nasty center, right? Imagine he goes back here. Well, all of a sudden this pawn's getting destroyed and black has the better center. So maybe I don't do that. And now I play bishop here and defend the pawn. Let's give that a try. I'm not sure anything I've played so far is the best move, but I hope it's not the worst move either. That's all I'll say. Maybe not the best move, but hopefully not the worst move. Yeah, so he's going to start that kind of pawn expansion idea. So maybe I castle now. I could castle. I could Back up my knight. I could bring another knight out. I think castling's fine though. Castle, get my king out of the center. Yeah, right, nothing better in this position. Yeah, let me just castle. Black will probably do the same. Okay, brings the queen out here. I have an idea, maybe a queen here. Saying that maybe I can play here at some point, but he does have this. So maybe a rook here, nice and simple. What's he trying with that as well? Is he trying to play here maybe? Attacking this pawn twice with the queen? He could be. Well, I'm not sure that works. I could play here now too, saying if you want to play bishop here, I have ideas of getting my knight over here. I think that's a slightly better pathway for my knight compared to here. Gets there in both lines, but I think this is slightly more direct. Interestingly, he also has knight into the square, which attacks my bishop, which is something to keep in mind here. So maybe I chop this knight off. Just saying, I don't love the idea that you can get a knight into the square. I can't get rid of it easily. And free up both of my bishops. Yeah, give up the central control and then play something like knight here. And just say after this I can take and move on with my life. Idea of here. Now saying if here I can move the bishop back like here, but then this comes and yeah, so I think I just chop this knight off. Let me chop the knight off. Yep. And then play my knight out here. I'd say black's actually done very well in the opening here. Because now black gets the open file too. So I actually don't love what I've done here at the opening. I'd say black's position is much better. Okay. Here, because now I'm going to have to play a bunch of moves that kind of respond to that pressure, right? I think now this might be a good idea too. Yeah, let me do this. Maybe that wasn't the smartest idea. we will see, I guess. We'll see. Yeah, so it goes there with the rook. My idea now is I can put my knight down on the square. My knight here. And something like this might happen or that might happen. So like this. Not quite so straightforward. You can also play queen here to defend it, or just push the pawn. Put my pawns on light squares. It's possible. Try to say I'm supporting my knight getting into this square and pushing this. Maybe I don't hate that idea. Try and play for some like here maybe as well. Sure. Give that a go. Give it a go. I think at this point I'm going to have to play pretty defensively, right? I think black definitely has some initiative. So here, after the pawn gets pushed, I could push my own pawn, maybe say takes. No, I don't love that. I can also play here now, just saying that the move here, I can meet with takes. Yeah, I don't love what I've done here. Play here too, trying for this that way, but that doesn't work either. Play here. Yeah, let me try and play this a little bit slower, I think. Could also play here. Hey, let me try this and say that this is the best way to go about it. I'm not sure it is. We'll see. I think every move I've made here has been like kind of bad. Maybe not terrible, but not great. Okay, he plays it that way. Sure. Let me get my queen out of the center here. Maybe. I also have 5 minutes on the clock, so let me just speed up and start making some moves. We don't care so much about the quality of the moves, I just need to get some time back. I need to get some kind of time. I need something here, right? I need something to be going my way. But black's position is very nice here. Maybe I try and double up here. I don't know. We'll see. I always really struggle in Sicilians, I will say. I really struggle. I just don't understand what good moves are and what bad moves are. So let's try and get a rook involved, maybe? Something like this. He could be planning to push this pawn. Get an extra attacker on this pawn. Don't know if I can prevent that necessarily. Could also maybe try go here. Just to say after this we could chop the knight off, but that makes that bishop so powerful. Bring a rook over like this maybe as well, to say that these are my two files that I'll use. Yeah. Maybe give that a try. I guess. Let's hope for the best. I would much rather be black here, I think, than be me. I would much rather be the black side of this position. Yeah, so he plays that. I could play here now, maybe. Is the concept like this. Let me do that. Like this. What is that move? That's a strange move. We get this knight back here. That's a weird move. Let me do this. Am I planning on continuing my Elden Ring playthrough? I'll be honest with you, Goober. My plan was, I think the reason I stopped playing Elden Ring to begin with, right, is I really didn't like the fact that I could only play it in 30 FPS. So I think my plan is if I do play it again, which probably will be happening relatively soon, I will maybe start up a new playthrough on PC and just say that's my actual first playthrough is on PC. I think might be the way that I go about it. I'm not sure if we agree, but playing it in beautiful 60 FPS, you know, crisp, seems better to me than going back to playing it on PS4, right? Where I just get frustrated because I can only play it in 30 FPS. I think is my idea. There might be some merit in a move like this now. Just saying if you push this to stop it, I can drop back and use this square on my knight. Yeah, I think that's my plan. Pieces are looking a little bit better now. I feel like he's played a couple of moves that are sort of wastes of time. I don't know if he's trying something big, but it feels like I've managed to improve my position a little bit. So, okay. He's now trying to use the queen on that file. He does allow me to play here with my bishop, and then try for some idea of this and this, right? So maybe I will take him up on that. Because his bishop can't really move. Let me try this. Say that helps me out just a little bit. Maybe it does, we'll see. After this though, I could play something like here and say if you take, that's okay for me because I'm isolating a pawn and making your thing a bit weird. Don't mind that so much, saying if you push at that point, if he pushes at that point though, maybe it's a little bit weirder. No, that's okay though, because I have an outpost bishop. So let me do that. I think. I mean, another way I can play it is here, but I'm worried about pressure eventually on this pawn because of the open file. So let me do this and say that's my idea. That's my plan. And he does push. Okay, so he gives me the outpost, which is interesting. I can solidify that now with a move like here. And saying after takes, I'm not worried about this because I can go here, trade off some stuff, and my position actually starts to look a little nicer. Let's not give him the option to take that anymore, I think. Let's play here, solidify, and say actually I've done quite a lot to improve my position, I think is the idea. That works. I wasn't that far in the game. I don't think I was, right? I kind of dipped my toes in a little bit, but didn't do too much in the game. Looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it as well. I'm looking forward to it. I know people were really loving that series, right? It was the same thing when I played Bloodborne, right? I got to a point with it where like I just got frustrated because I couldn't play the game in the quality it was intended to be played in, right? That's the only reason really why I think I stopped playing those games, because I really do like Souls games and I still love them. It's just like that whole thing of, well, if I can't play it in the quality that I should play it in, why am I bothering, right? So yeah, I think that's the idea. The only problem would be multiplayer Grass has it on PS4. Yeah, I don't know. I think my first playthrough, at the very least, I probably want to do single player anyway, right? Okay, so he plays here to attack my bishop. Let his knight use this. Good square, and he might be getting his knight in here eventually, so I'm probably going to drop the bishop back like this to try and prevent that, I think is the idea. Let me do that. I'm going to have to keep playing relatively quickly here just because of my time situation. And if he takes, I can play here with the queen or the knight. Hopefully this is okay with the bishop covering this this diagonal. It gets more difficult when you get into these time scrambles to understand what's happening. I like what I did with my last like 10 or so moves. I think it's really helped to make my position a lot more bearable versus before where I was sort of in misery land. But I'm definitely not out of the woods, I would say. Not close. So I can now play a move like this. Can also play something like here. Can start to double up, maybe. I'd say a move like this just to prevent the knight from getting in here, but do I really care that it gets in there? Not especially. Not especially. I keep track of my time here too, so let's not get too far behind on time. I can play bishop back here now, saying after here or back there. Yeah, let me try that. That's a bit of a weird move, but I think it's okay. Opening my rooks back up, right? Give that a try. It's a bit of a strange move, but I hope it's the right kind of thing to be doing here. Let me see. Just say if you want to put your knight back in like here, you can start to build up pressure on it. Even take this pawn, but that frees up his bishop, so I don't really want to do that right now. I can more plug it up, move like here, and then just attack his knight and say it's not safe. Gotta keep playing at a reasonable tempo here though, right? Think about things that I want to do next. Double up rooks, push a pawn. I want to maybe start an attack up on the king side with a combination of moves like something like that, right? What am I being aware of on his side? Doubling of the rooks here maybe, but I'm actually cutting off this whole file, so I've done a really good job to limit the effectiveness of this file with this kind of bishop maneuver. He still has two bishops, I have two bishops. He plays bishop here, just solidifying this kind of idea. Let me now I can play, what can I play? I can start doubling up like this, right? I can do that. I can attack this bishop with a move like knight here, which is an interesting idea. Probably puts his bishop back here. I can follow up with here, but I don't know. He start a plan up of doubling my rooks on this file, I guess. Let me try that. Seeing if he wants to play like here, I can come at that pawn. Is my thought process. Covering the square with the queen, so this is not possible. He pushes the pawn, sure. He pushes that pawn. I think I can attack that pawn though, right? So let me go here. And then my idea is to play my knight in. So here, here, he might try and push this. But then I can use this square, right? With my knight. So maybe that's not quite so good for black to do that. Bishop's still kind of dead in this corner. He might try and put a knight here. He might. He does. So what do I want to do about that? I can play here and try and force knight takes, because that's the strongest piece now, right? Knight takes, bishop takes, and say that's your best piece gone. But if I go here, he does have this move, which is something to keep in mind. So maybe I play a move like here. I don't love that I can't immediately kick that knight out. Let me just play here, just like a little waiting move, right? Just to see what you're gonna do next is my idea. Try and get some time back, see what you're gonna do next. Let me see. And maybe have some long-term plan of queen here to attack that, maybe. Not so sure, my time sucks, so there's a good chance that I just run out of time here and lose the game. There's a good chance that that happens, I would say. I actually don't want to move this knight as well because I want to see if he commits to this. If he commits to this, I can put my knight here and it'll operate very nicely from this square. I could also try and go back to this and like this now. Is maybe on my radar. But let's see. Let's see what he's got here. He could play queen in here. Just to solidify, I'd probably play rook here in that spot, I think. If he plays queen here, I could consider the idea of rook takes. Saying queen takes, rook takes, bishop takes. And then a move like, I don't know. That's two rooks for a queen and two rooks that have potential to be good, so maybe I don't love that. Okay, plays bishop in here. Bishop in there. I can play... What can I play now? I can play this plan, I guess, of queen here. You do that. Not sure if it's the best move, but I need to start making moves again. I'm in that kind of zone where I just need to start making some moves. My idea is to go here and start putting pressure on the knight this way, and now actually allow knight in here too, I think. Yeah, so it goes for this. I can now play here, because this I can just take. So let me do that. Let me do that. Just saying knight takes, bishop takes, rook takes is the idea. He might have some move. Okay, he plays back with his knight. Now I can take a pawn. Let me do that. Guess that's okay. Okay, he takes that pawn. I actually didn't notice that was hanging, so that's not good. I must have missed that idea. You probably go bishop back here, I imagine. I can move my rook here and play for here and here. Okay, attacks the knight. We come here now and attack pawn. Could also play knight to a different spot. I like this. Get my bishop back involved. Because then if after here I can play something like here with maybe a small attack on two things, right? And swing this queen over to attack that same point. Okay, brings the knight in to attack the bishop. That's a good move. We play here, I guess. Gonna have to kick that knight away now, I think, with something like that. I don't know why I do this to myself. Why I put myself in such terrible time situations, I have no idea. I guess my plan maybe is play here now, attack the knight that way. Could be part of it. Very, very tough game. Tough game. Difficult game. Yeah, so push is there. So let me play here. We do that. See what he does. Hopefully I'm not missing something crazy with this idea. And to keep making moves, right? Keep making moves. Keep putting moves on the board. They don't need to be 10 out of 10 moves. They can be like, sorry, 7 out of 10 moves as long as they are moves. Let me go. Let me go here. Here might be the idea. Let me try that move. I'm just trying to get rid of the knight because it's being a pest, right? It's a strong piece and it's a pest, and I don't like it. Okay. Bring my queen in now. Try that. Maybe trying to bait him a little bit as well. But he actually has this move now, which is quite annoying. I should have played queen here, actually, I think. That's probably a lot better. If he plays knight here, I do have some idea of taking this pawn. Okay, brings his bishop back. Let me take. See what he does here. Maybe start some idea of like this. If he plays king takes, though, I need to move stuff out of the way first. If he plays king takes, I can also play here first. Saying that I'm just putting some pressure on the king. Let me try that. Here. Hopefully we're not blundering anything. It's important to keep in mind that black attacks this knight with the queen, right? That's something to keep in our minds. I'm just trying to scare him a little bit. Okay, plays there with the queen. I mean, he might be trying to come down a file. Could play here now. Let's try this. See if this works. Not sure if it's any good. We'll see. Might be missing something major. Got black's king in a little bit of trouble here, but I just don't have any time, is the thing. I have no time. I have no time at all. Moves the bishop back, sure. Now if I play here, let me see. Just attacking stuff, right? Trying to be a little intimidating. Attack some things. Make him feel the pressure a little bit. He may be trying to come here with his queen, saying that he can take a pawn, but my queen defends that at the moment. Sure, defends pawn. I could have taken that pawn, I realise. I play now. Should have taken that pawn, probably. Just play takes. Here. It's probably not the best move, to be fair. I should still be relatively happy here. I have control of the open file. I do have 33 seconds, which is not great. My idea is just to harass the queen now, right? Try and cause the queen some problems. Chopped off black's bishop, which was a relatively good piece. The problem is, I mean, I kind of have an attack on black's king, but not really. Not really. Black's king can always run away, so maybe it's okay I gave up that knight. Okay, plays here. I guess I can play here. Attack a queen. See what happens. Open up this diagonal for checks. See what happens. He maybe has to defend. Play here, start attacking some stuff. Move like this. Me try here, takes, and here. Maybe that's not so good for me though. Play here. Try and double up on the file is maybe the idea. I don't know if I missed something there. Maybe I've missed an idea with that. Maybe he can play queen down here and harass. I don't know. Okay, plays rook back there. I can play here and just say, this is my file. Still has a dead bishop and can't take over the open file with his rook. Should be okay for me. He has 5 minutes now too, so he's burning time at this point. I still have concrete ideas too, like fully just blocking up this with the bishop. Okay, brings his... Yep. What am I doing here? What am I doing here? We go here. Don't know if I'm blundering stuff here, we'll see. Maybe he's trying here now. Here and here. Takes, here, takes, back. Maybe I cover it. We'll see. This could get very crazy now. This could get very crazy, very wild. Okay. I do see what he's planning now, actually. That's really not good. That's very much not good for me. I'm in a really bad spot now, I think. Oh yeah, can he not just play here? I go here, he goes here, I'm checkmated. Ah, dicks. I fucked it, I think. Yeah. Okay, well, good game. Fuck. Oh, wait, no, I can go here. I thought it was over. I thought it was over. No way, I thought it was over. I thought it was over. He thought it was over. We both thought it was over. How is it? I thought it was over. It's not checkmate. Okay. Fuck, he can take there though. Yeah. Where do I go now? Here. Very bold. Let's play bold. Let's be bold. Who dares wins, right? You can't check me anymore, and I'm coming for your pawn. I'm coming for your king. I thought it was over. I really thought it was over. It's not over. I have some ideas of check now too. Jesus, man. I thought it was GG. I'm gonna be honest, I thought it was straight up just GG. That being said, we're in a very scary spot here. He can play this check. I can take in here. But I think otherwise he doesn't have any checks that are good in this spot, and I have one coming with here and start up this idea, and I threaten a pawn. So let's see what he's got here. 4 minutes on his clock. He's up a pawn, but I'm attacking pawns everywhere, and hopefully I have what it takes to get one back. Let's see though. Let's see. He might play his king over. He does. Okay. Let me. What am I doing here? What am I doing here? Don't quite know. You play a waiting move. What's he try to do? Ah. Okay, now I see his point. Right. Am I just toast here? Maybe? Guess I'll just step away, but that's probably not really good for me actually now I think about it. Yeah, don't think I'm playing this correctly. Goes here, yep. You step away. Ah, geez, yeah, I think I lost this one. I was kind of trying to lose though, right? I feel like. Here. Okay, you missed that. Yeah, I'm just toast here. Ah, damn it. Damn it. It was good for me, it was bad for me, and then it was terrible for me. Yeah. GG. GG. My brain was not there for this today, I'll be honest. 3 mistakes, a blunder, and a miss, so really just a badly played game from me, it seems like. Right? Let's have a look at our analysis. Yeah, just very bad, right? Very bad. From a position that was much, much better for me. This middle game, right? To just falling apart in the end game. And I just ran out of time. I ran out of time, it got too complicated, and all of a sudden you had this attack going on the edge of the board. But we can analyse it anyway. We can hop in, we can have a look, and we can see what was happening in the game. I mean, yeah, eval bar starts even. I get this very, very big advantage, and then just toss it with a couple of terrible moves, right? But that happens, right? That is part of the game. So yep, Sicilian. I don't like playing against a Sicilian. Takes. This is all considered fine. Yep. Just getting pieces out. That's already an inaccuracy. Supposed to develop the knight. Castles is fine. Takes is excellent. Here's fine. That's excellent. Yeah, just trying to say I have some amount of fight on the square, right? Even though I think he still technically has it. It's fine. I play here, getting my queen out of the center. White brings a bishop out. That's a little inaccuracy. Supposed to start a push on the queen side. Yeah, I didn't think I was playing the best moves. I thought I would have a lot of these kind of like good moves. That's excellent. Yeah, so I mean, this is where like I guess this position I start to be like a little bit better. This is where my position started to turn around a little bit because of this idea with the bishop to b6. Just saying you have the open file, but I literally cover everything with the bishop. That's best. Solidifying's good. That's great. Back here, that's best. That's considered fine. Doesn't love that idea with the rooks. Doubling up. That's not best. You can just take that, apparently. Interesting. That's fine. It's fine. This is, I think this might be slightly wrong, right, already, because it allows the capture. So apparently I should play this a little bit slower, build up with something like this before looking to take the pawn. Just saying that pawn is going to be weak forever, so there's no reason to rush in capturing it. Position's still better for me, but I lose like a whole pawn worth of advantage, right? So the engine much prefers building. Even if he pushes, right, we can build something like this. And we're now able to take the pawn. We don't have to worry about these tactical ideas. So that was probably my first real mistake. Does that. This is fine. This is fine. Excellent. Best thing to do is try and target this knight. It's fine. It's excellent. Yep, get the rook in a scary spot is fine. And here I'm obviously much better, right? I have the rooks talking to each other, the bishop helping me to dominate this file completely. I have a knight in a scary position. I have a queen that's ready to come in and get involved. All of my pieces are doing stuff. You look at black's pieces and you have two rooks that can never be dangerous, right? Where are they going to go? They can't go here. They're looking into a wall of pawns. They can't even trade, right? So they're just useless. You have the queen which is doing something, right? The bishop that's kind of involved. So you see my plan is immediately to attack this bishop and get rid of it. I think this is still kind of wrong though. Something about it just doesn't feel right. But the engine's saying it's fine. Just saying this all that's left for black now is just pieces that aren't quite as good. It's interesting, I don't have any extra pawns, right? No one has any extra pawns or anything, but just based on my position, I have a 3-pawn advantage at this point, which is strange. Here, that's best. I think yeah, maybe that's not quite the right idea, and maybe I start to go wrong around here. Yeah. So this maneuver with the rook is not great. One of the best things about these rooks is they're talking to each other and they're dominating a file, so why would you break that up, right? Let me think, because obviously things went very wrong for me here very quickly, right? So let me think about what happened and what I might do instead now that I have more time. Curious in this position about something like queen d3. Black's queen ended up being a real problem for me, so I wonder if the engine rate is trying to get rid of it. That's a mistake. Okay. How many moves in this position are not mistakes? It likes rook here. What about this? Is it here? Nope, it's getting the king up and out of there. Saying after something like this, you can just capture it. Okay. A little bit scary to do that, and I don't know why this is the best move. What's the follow-up, right? Here, 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 here. So basically, what the engine rates in this position is this crazy rook move, but imagine something more human, like, okay, maybe try this. That's fine. What it wants you to do is remaneuver the bishop to move it from one outpost where it's already strong to another one where it's even stronger. I'm not sure I would have thought about that. I'm thinking my bishop's already fine here, right? It's in a good position. It's doing a good job. It doesn't need improving. But the engine rates the idea of starting up a rook lift to introduce threats on these pawns and starting a bishop maneuver to attack probably these pawns and get your bishop in here and start going at black's king is the way I should have played this. But I start to go wrong here. I lose a lot of my advantage. Black gets this idea going, the counter attack, right? All of a sudden, black has a lot of play here. I thought this was checkmate. It wasn't. I go here, here, and all of a sudden black's better in this position. And I play just a couple of really bad moves, really low on time, panicking, not knowing what to do. And black wins very easily from there. So, I mean, if we're talking about lessons that we can learn from that, first of all, time usage. I could have played a line that was very similar to this, using half the time, right? I didn't need to think so much. I spent 2 minutes on bishop e2. No reason to spend 2 minutes on bishop e2, right? I spend another minute, that's fine. 2 minutes on an inaccuracy, okay. So it's just playing slow out of the opening, right? And my opponent gets a very big time advantage very quickly. You know, by move 6 or 7 here, I got 7 minutes, he has 15. It doesn't matter how good of a position you build after this. You know, if you leave yourself with, what is this, like a minute and 45 where your opponent has 12 minutes, your opponent's going to win the game. So that's probably the biggest lesson, is just like appropriate usage of time, right? Otherwise, I think not forcing stuff. When you do get a good position like this, slow it down, enjoy it, and build it up slowly. There's 2 key moments here where I think I rushed things, right? There's this, which is rushing, allows counterplay. You see that the taking of this pawn eventually led to me losing the game as well. So in this position, slow playing it, getting an even nicer position, bishop doing more, improve pieces, know that black can't maneuver that many pieces, right? That's the first one. And then if we go forward even further, we're looking at this position. And we need to know what our biggest strength is, and that is this. And we need to not rush the idea of doing this, because it doesn't work, right? It's rushing. We can take our time, we can play it slow, we can start to slowly build up a threat against the king and eventually force black to give away material, right? So that's probably the biggest lesson. Especially in the opening, play your moves more efficiently, get to a middle game. It doesn't matter whether it's a great or an okay or a slightly less than ideal middle game, as long as you get there with a good amount of time, and don't rush a winning position because you're going to throw it away and fuck it up. And don't do both of those things at the same time, because you're going to lose spectacularly, right? That is the heart and soul of the day, right? Cool. That is me for today, I think. That's all. That was chess for today. We did our thing, we played our game. Took a loss, but we learned something, right? So appreciate everyone who checked in. Nice to chat to you guys. I think I'll be I'm now really tempted to get the Elden Ring stream up and running. Right, that'd be fun. Maybe I'll try and do that over the weekend. We'll see. Um, yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I had fun today. It's always good to hop on and talk about chess. I like playing chess. So, yeah, appreciate everyone who did stop in. Um, I'll be back. Again, I don't know exactly what I'm doing with streams right now. So, I'll be back relatively soon doing something relatively similar at a future date. Yeah, cheers, guys. Hope everyone has a good day tomorrow. And I'll catch up with you all later. Cheers. Bye.